Hi, Aqua Roomers. It's Christmas Eve, and I'm going to read you a story. And this story is probably my favorite. And it's about a family in the Appalachian Mountains kind of a long time ago. But I grew up in that area, and oh, what a story. So, here we go. The Year of the Perfect Christmas Tree by Gloria Houston, illustrated by Barbara Cooney. Barbara Cooney was famous. Do you know she used to live in Pepperell? That was a long time ago. So here we go. Whoa! Look at this. Wow. See those mountains? It was getting toward Christmas in the valley of Pine Grove. The wise folk said the old woman in the sky was picking her geese, for the Appalachian Mountains lay blanketed with snow. The road wound like white ribbons around the misty blue ridges, tracked by runners of wagons, sleds, and sleighs. Occasionally, an automobile chugged its way through the silence. Across the ocean, the Great War raged, but in the valley, all was at peace. It was getting on toward the Christmas Ruthie would never forget. The Christmas when the village almost did not have a Christmas tree. It happened this way. Ruthie told me so. Yep. Come, my pretty young'un, Papa had said one day early in the spring. It's time to choose the Christmas tree for the village church. But Papa, Christmas will not come for a long while, said Ruthie. The service trees are just now in bloom. Oh, we must choose a special tree and mark it for the coming year. It is the custom in our village, said Papa, for one family to give to all the folk in the village and up in every hill and holler a Christmas tree for Pine Grove Church. This year, it's our turn. Some years, a timbering man will give a fat round laurel from the northy coves, the kind the outlanders call rhododendron. Other years, the holler folk may bring a cedar to spread its fragrance throughout the village church. What kind of tree shall we have, Papa? Said Ruthie. We shall have a balsam Christmas tree, my pretty young'un, said Papa. The balsam grows up the rocky crags where only a venturesome man may go. The balsam is a perfect Christmas tree. It grows up high, near to heaven. Look, she's on her horse with her papa. Oh my goodness. I guess they found one. Oh. So Papa and Ruthie rode on old Petey's back across the high cliffs and along the crags looking for the perfect balsam Christmas tree. They rode and rode from early morning till the sun was high in the sky. Finally, they saw it, growing on the edge of a high cliff on Grandfather Mountain, alone with no other trees around it. Its green color was dark and rich. It was the perfect shape and size. Its tip-top pointing up to heaven. This will be our perfect Christmas tree, said Papa. And as is our custom, the selfsame year, you shall be the heavenly angel in the village Christmas play. It is fitting you should mark the Christmas tree Papa took the red ribbon from Ruthie's coal black curls. He lifted her high in his strong arms. "Tie this to the tip top," he said, and then he kissed the dimple in each of Ruthie's cheeks. So let's look at that again. They're riding up, and see? Oh, that's the ribbon from her hair that she's tying on the tree. I think that's so that when they go to cut it down, they'll be able to find the tree. Oh, that's their house. And there's Ruthie and her mama. Yep. The summer came, and Papa was called away to be a soldier. He went to fight in a war far across the sea. That year, the timber was not cut, so Mama had no money to buy coffee, sugar, or cloth for new dresses. Mama and Ruthie drank peppermint tea sweetened with honey. Mama lowered the hems of Ruthie's dresses and embroidered pretty flowers over the tears and the mends. Together, they tended the little garden, growing vegetables to eat. And every night, Mama tucked Ruthie into her little bed and listened as she said the same prayer. "Please send my Papa home for Christmas," Ruthie whispered, "and please have old St. Nicholas bring me a doll with a beautiful dress, the color of cream, all trimmed with ribbons and lace." Do you remember we talked about different names for Santa Claus? And my goodness, old St. Nicholas is one of the names. Oh, so she wants that doll. Wow. Oh, so now she's at school. Soon, there was only one more day till Christmas Eve. Over at the school, Miss Jenny and her pupils. Miss Jenny and her pupils? My goodness, that's my name. They were practicing the Christmas play. The children sang the Appalachian lullaby. Miss Jenny chose the boy and the girl, who could be Mary and Joseph, and then she called Ruthie's name. "This year, you shall be the heavenly angel," Miss Jenny said. "This is the year your Papa will give the church its Christmas tree." Miss Jenny helped Ruthie climb up to stand on the teacher's chair so it would look as if she were up in the sky, and she showed her how to hold her arms just so. That was the picture we saw. "If you wear a dress with great big sleeves," said Miss Jenny, "it will look like you have wings." "Mama, Mama," said Ruthie as she ran up the front steps that day, "I must have a new dress with great big sleeves. I'm going to be the heavenly angel when Papa gives the Christmas tree." "Oh, my pretty young'un," said Mama, "I have no cloth to make a dress with great big sleeves, and I have no money until your Papa comes home." Mama kissed the dimple in each of Ruthie's cheeks and hugged her daughter tightly. Oh, something's gonna happen. All right. And, what are they doing? Let's read. That night, the preacher from Pine Grove Church knocked at the door. "Tomorrow is Christmas Eve, Miss Green," he said, "and Tom is not yet home. Chad McKinney has been saving a prime cedar on his bottomland for Christmas next. He does cut his tree this year." "Nope, this is the year our family gives the tree," said Mama. "Tom chose it before he went away." "Oh, I'd hoped You'd heed my wish, said the preacher. The church must have a Christmas tree when tomorrow comes. Tom is as good as his word. Our family will give the tree this year, said Mama. So late that night, Mama wakened Ruthie. They dressed in their warm coats, hats, and mittens. Mama hitched old Petey to the big sled that Papa used to haul fire logs down from the ridges. The moon shone silver as Mama and Ruthie made their way up the hill. Ruthie carried the lantern. As they came to the dark woods, the winter moon made strange shadows on the snow. Mama, I'm afraid, said Ruthie. No need to be afraid, said Mama. We're off to get the perfect balsam Christmas tree. Mama began to sing, I wonder as I wander out under the sky. Ruthie joined in the song, and soon she forgot to be afraid. So there they are starting out. See the moon? Wow. Going out late at night to find the tree. Do you remember how hard it was for Ruthie and her pa to find the tree last summer? Oh, wow. But look. There it is. Mama and Ruthie led old Petey and the sled up the hills and across the ridges, but they could not find the perfect balsam. Papa says the balsam grows high on the rocky crags up near heaven, where only a venturesome man will go, said Ruthie. The rocky crags, said Mama. We have a long climb ahead. Slowly they led old Petey along the ridge to the highest crag on Grandfather Mountain. They could see the village sleeping in the valley far below. Finally, at the edge of the highest cliff, they saw the balsam standing alone. There it is, Mama, Ruthie cried. See, there's my ribbon bow tied to the tip top. Ruthie ran up the rocky crag as Mama and old Petey followed. Do you remember when Papa let her tie the ribbon on the top when they found the tree? They found it. There's Ruthie and Mama. Yep. Oh, I guess the sun is starting to come up. The blade of Papa's axe shone in the moonlight. Mama lifted it high. Thwack, crack. The sounds echoed through the rocks and hills. Then Mama picked up the saw and said, Take hold of the end, my pretty young'un. Pull as hard as you can. Mama pulled, Ruthie pulled, pull, pull, back and forth until the perfect balsam Christmas tree fell softly into the snow. Ruthie and Mama lifted the tree onto the sled and tied it there. Then they made their way down the ridge. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning, they sang. Through the soft snow, they led old Petey to the church. Together, they lifted the perfect balsam Christmas tree from the sled and stood it in the corner, just as the sun was rising over Doe Hill. They hurried home. Finally getting some sleep. It was a long night. Oh, what is Mama doing? Tucking Ruthie into her little bed, Mama whispered, The folks shall have their Christmas tree, and you shall be the heavenly angel this year. Ruthie fell fast asleep, but Mama sat long by the firelight, sewing as fast as her nimble fingers could move. First, she cut the ribbons and lace from a wedding dress the color of cream. From it, she fastened a smaller dress with flowing sleeves. Then she took a soft silk stocking, stuffed it with lamb's wool, and stroked it until it was smooth and round. She embroidered it with 2 blue eyes, little black curls, and made a dimple in each cheek. From the scraps of Ruthie's dress, she made a tiny dress, just like it, all trimmed with ribbons and lace. She dressed the stocking doll in the tiny dress. Oh my goodness. Doesn't Ruthie look like a heavenly angel? The sun was high in the winter sky when a knock came at the door. "Good Christmas Eve, Preacher Ollis," Mama said. "Do come in." "Did you hear the news about the Christmas tree?" the preacher said. "A wondrous balsam fir from high up on the rocky crags was found on the porch this morning." "Oh, do tell, do tell. What a wonder," said Mama. "And that's not all. It's being told hereabouts that folks who live up in the holler heard the angels singing high on the ridge late last night, and they were singing Christmas songs," said Preacher Ollis. Ruthie hid her face in Mama's patchwork quilt so the preacher would not hear her laugh. Daylight was fading when Mama helped Ruthie into the prettiest dress Ruthie had ever seen. It was made of the softest silk, the color of cream, all trimmed with ribbons and lace, and it had long, flowing sleeves. "If you hold your arms just so," said Mama, "it will look like you have wings." At the church, the ladies of the valley had decorated the perfect balsam Christmas tree. Reflections of the tiny red candles in their shiny holders fastened to the tips of the branches shone in the windows. Tied to the lower branches of the tree were presents wrapped in pretty paper. On the tip top was the tiny angel. Oh, there's the angel. Looks just like Ruthie. Yes. From up and down the river road and from all the hills and hollers, the folks were coming to celebrate the Christmas tree. A choir of children sat by the organ. The 3 kings waited outside the belfry door. Behind the bedsheet curtains, Mama helped the little Mary put her doll to bed in the manger straw. Ruthie climbed up and stood on the preacher's big chair. The ladies pushed the bedsheet curtain back. Ruthie could see herself in the dark church windows. She was careful to hold her arms just so. In her beautiful dress, it looked as if she had wings. "Behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy," said Ruthie, the heavenly angel. When the program was over, Ruthie went to sit with Mama on the front pew. Mama held her close. And then the 3 kings came walking down the aisle carrying lard pails filled with the Christmas tree pokes. Each bag contained a soft peppermint stick, some chocolate drops, an orange, and some hazelnuts. Behind the kings walked old St. Nicholas. He carried his sack with him. Do you see? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3 kings, and then St. Nicholas, Santa. Yeah. Old St. Nick visited the Amen corner first. He gave each of the deacons a lump of coal or a willow switch. And the folk in the church laughed. And then to all the children who had misbehaved, old St. Nick gave a willow stick or a lump of coal. Ruthie had been good that year, so she got a treat instead. At last, it was time to call the names on the presents tied to the tree. Every child in the church received a present. Everyone except Ruthie. A tear slid down into the dimple in her cheek. Oh, very sad. And then one of the kings reached to the tip top of the perfect balsam, and he lifted down the tiny angel. Do you remember the angel that was on the top of the tree? Oh. Why, Ruthie, said old St. Nick, this tiny angel looks like you. And it did. The tiny angel was wearing a dress just like Ruthie's. It was made of the softest silk, the color of cream. It was trimmed with ribbons and lace. The sleeves were long and flowing, and it looked as if she had wings. The angel's curls were as black as coal, and she had a dimple in each cheek. Ruthie hugged the tiny angel and kissed its silky cheek, which felt just like the silk stockings Papa had sent to Mama. The preacher said the benediction, and St. Nicholas wished to one and all a happy Christmas. Slowly, the people began leaving the church. Mama and Ruthie walked out the door. St. Nicholas was standing there. A man in an army uniform stood beside him. And here is another present for you, Ruthie, said St. Nicholas. But Ruthie was so busy looking at the tiny angel, she did not notice until strong arms picked her up. Let me look at you, my pretty young'un, said Papa's voice. And he hugged Ruthie, Mama, and the tiny angel all at the same time. So Papa's home. The village folk gathered around the church steps. Someone from the village began to sing, Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright. The folk in the village joined in, but Papa, Mama, Ruthie, and the tiny angel hardly heard. They just hugged each other some more. And since that time, every year, for more than 60 years, a tiny angel has stood on top of a perfect balsam Christmas tree. She wears a dress of the softest silk, the color of cream, all trimmed with ribbons and lace. The sleeves are long and flowing, and it looks as if she has wings. The angel has coal-black curls and a dimple in each cheek. That's how it happened. The Christmas of the heavenly angel and the perfect balsam Christmas tree. Grandma Ruthie told me so. Happy holidays and have a wonderful Christmas. Love you all.